Welcome to Lesson 4B, the second half of Lesson 4 for the keyboard percussion instruments. At the very top of the second page of Lesson 4, Mallet Lesson 4B, we learn about whole notes and whole rest. So in a previous lesson, we learned that half notes receive 2 counts. A whole note takes up an entire measure of 4/4 time, a whole measure, and it receives 4 beats. So look at this chart here. A whole note is just a donut without a stem. So it's the only type of note that has no stem. So a whole note is equal to 2 half notes. So a whole note is 4 counts. Each half note gets 2, so 2, 4, or 4 quarter notes. Now we can think of whole rest in the same way. A whole rest we think of as holding on to a line of the staff. Remember, a half rest looks like a hat and sits on the line, but a whole rest takes up a whole measure, 4 counts. There are 2 half rests in a whole rest. There are 4 quarter rests in a whole rest. So it's pretty simple, especially when you have a whole rest that takes up a whole measure. All you have to do is count to yourself 1, 2, 3, 4. Whenever you have a whole note, you count 1, 2, 3, 4, but you play the first note. All right, so we're going to do the music reading on the lesson 4B. We start off with 2 new notes. So we know F, G, E flat, D. We've played songs that use with those notes, and then we added a D to it. Now we're learning the first 2 notes below the staff that uses a device that is called a ledger line. So the staff has a certain amount of space to it. So I'm starting on E, and my highest note on the staff could be an F. So E is the bottom line, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F is the top line. So if I want to go past that, I have to add rungs to the ladder, and those rungs are called ledger lines. So if I'm moving down below D, D was that first note below the staff. C uses a ledger line. The C has a line that goes through it. And then if I want to go even lower, I can use a note below that C, below that ledger line, and this note is B flat. All right, so we know what C to B is. Adding a flat sign to the B lowers it to this accidental. So take a second, find your C on your keyboard, find your B flat on your keyboard. Now you know D, you know E flat, you know F, you know G, right? So we know all of these notes here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We know 6 notes. So let's do a quick exercise where I call out a note name and then I want you to strike that note. All right? C, C, D, E flat, C, D, C, B flat, C, B flat, D, E flat, F, C, F, B flat, E flat, C, D, G, F, E flat, B flat, E flat. All right, that is an exercise that I love to do with my whole class every single day. Whatever notes that we know on the keyboard that we're using on the music reading for whatever lesson that we're on, I just have them get used to finding those notes as quickly as possible. We can also do that in our speed reading where we're finding those notes on the staff. All right, getting used to quickly transferring that knowledge of finding the notes and then finding it on the keyboard is very important. So do a little bit of that every day. You can have a friend call out note names. Your band director can call out note names and just see if you can locate those faster and faster on the keyboard. All right, let's look at line number 1 here. Notice that my first 4 notes are just C. So I have my mallet turned around. I like to use the shaft of my mallets and the fingers at the tip so I can touch the keys. So in my first measure, I have that ledger line that goes through each note. So it's just C, 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 C. Then in my second measure, I have that note that's below that ledger line, and that is the note B flat. So I have to reach down to play the B flat. So C, 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 B flat. Do that with me. Say the note names, finger through. Ready, go. C, 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 B flat. Now if I want to reach down, I could play that B flat with my right hand. Doesn't really matter, but I want to alternate as much as I can. When I get to my third measure, how many C's do we have? C, C, and then I have 8th notes, B flat, C. All right, C, C, B flat, C. So I'm thinking my rhythm, quarter note, bum, bum, quarter note. All right, we covered all of how to read 8th notes and quarter notes in the snare drum part, so I'm assuming that you've done that. But the rhythm, quarter note, 8th, 8th, quarter note. Now do the same thing, but say the note names. 1, 2, ready, go. C, C, B flat, C. All right? Keeping your eyes on the music. Let's do that one more time. Ready, go. C, C, B flat, C. And then I finish up with a whole note on B flat. All right? So this whole line only uses 2 notes, B flat and C. Let's say the note names all the way through, fingering through each one of those. 1, 2, ready, go. C, 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 B flat, 2, 3, 4. C, C, B flat, C, B flat, 2, 3, 4. So not too difficult. All right, I only have 2 notes. So take a second and just play around with those 2 notes while you look away from the keyboard to get to where it feels comfortable for you. All right? And then let's play that line. I'll go 80 beats per minute. Here we go. 1, 2, set and go. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. All right? So hardest measure is the 3rd measure. So you might just try that a few times. Okay, you can slow the tempo down. It's not a hard line because it's only 2 notes. So take some time, work that up. You could go to PadLab if you want and work that up in PadLab. Just select that one line. All right, let's look at our next line. We are only using C, B flat, C in our first measure. All right, first measure, B flat, C, B flat. What is that half note in the second measure? Is the ledger line running through it, or there's no ledger line, so we know that's a D. So in the first measure, B flat to C is just a whole step. In the second measure, B flat, I skip the C to D. So finger through and say the note names in the first 2 measures. 1, 2, ready, go. B flat, C, B flat, D. Now I can use a double stroke or I can alternate, but notice that in the first measure it's B flat to C, second measure it's B flat to D. Try that again. 1, 2, ready, go. B flat, C, B flat, D. Now, going on. So that is the first line. Every good boy does fine. E flat. So E flat, D, C, B flat. So notice that is a scale. All right, just go straight down the scale with 2 E flats. So let's say measures 3 and 4. 1, 2, ready, go. E flat, D, C, B flat, rest, B flat. So you start seeing the pattern here, all right? In the last 2 measures, kind of just move straight down the scale. Bum, 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 all right? Pretty simple. When you see those patterns, you no longer have to read every individual note. You can just kind of read the scale, all right? So let's finger through and say the whole line. So using a lot of these B flats, but I'm also using the C, D, and E flat, all right? 1, 2, ready, go. B flat, C, B flat, D, E flat, D, C, B flat, rest, B flat. All right, so making sure that you're reading each one of those notes and you can say the note names. Okay, you could try it without fingering through it first, saying the note names. And then the next thing you want to do is just kind of get used to those 4 notes. And even if you're missing notes, that's okay, because what we want to do is eventually your mind will force your hands to play the right notes, all right? So try to just get used to that pattern of B flat, C, D, E flat without looking at your hands. If you hit wrong notes, that's okay. You'll figure it out, but don't just start staring at your hands as you do it. All right, let's play this whole line. Slow tempo. And 1, 2, set and go. B flat, C, B flat, D, E flat, D, C, B flat, rest, B flat. Okay, that is maybe a little bit hard the first couple of times that you do it, so take it slow. Work on each measure separately, 2 measures together separately. Maybe the first 2 and then measures 3 and 4 separately before you put it all together. Try it at a very slow tempo. Once you get it, if you're keeping your eyes on the music, you'll get faster and faster at reading. All right, line number 3 is in 3/4 time. Now we're moving up to our note G. So this one has a repeat sign in it. So if you look at measure 2, at the end of measure 2, I have a repeat sign, which means I go back to the beginning and play the first 2 measures again. So let's try the first 2 measures, saying the note names while we finger through, and do it twice. 1, 2, ready, go. G, F, E flat, E flat, E flat. G, F, E flat, E flat, E flat. So I'm touching those keys so I don't have to look down at my hands. All right? I don't know if you're watching the video, but you can see I'm staring actually at the camera. I'm not even staring at the music. I don't have to look at my hands when I'm playing this. First 2 measures, 2 times. 1, 2, ready, go. G, F, E flat, E flat, E flat. G, F, E flat, E flat, E flat. So I can alternate. I can play all left hands on my E flats. That's okay. All right, at least while you're sight reading it. Let's look at the 3rd measure. So after I played my E flats in the 3rd measure, I go up to F. So E flat to F, and then back to E flat. 4th measure, down to D, which is just a half step down from E flat. All right, I'm going to be saying whole steps and half steps a lot. So hopefully all of that's in your brain. So 3rd measure and 4th measure. Say the note names, finger through it. Ready, go. F, E flat, D, D, D. All right, so that's right down the scale, right? There's no skips in there, so do it again. Ready, go. F, E flat, D, D, D. And then my last two measures, there's some skips in here, so I have to read my notes, E flat, and then I have to find my next note, B flat, E flat. So sometimes there's wider skips that we have to just individually read the notes. Scales are easy because it's always the next note. Thirds are kind of easy because we're only skipping one note. This one is a fourth, so we actually skip a bunch of notes. Last two measures, say the note names. Ready, go. E flat, B flat, E flat, rest. A half a rest. Okay, do it again. Ready, go. E flat, B flat, E flat, rest. There, I did it correctly. All right, so we're using those five notes. B flat, F, or C, D, E flat, F. I don't think we have any G. Yes, we have a G at the beginning. So 6 notes. Say the note names all the way through this line. 1, 2, ready, go. G, F, E flat, repeat. G, F, E flat, look ahead. F, E flat, D, D, D. E flat, B flat, E flat, rest. Now we can play the whole line. All right, very slow tempo. Let's take it at 60. 1, 2, ready, go. G, F, E flat, look ahead, repeat. G, F, E flat, look ahead. F, E flat, D, 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 E flat, B flat, E flat, rest. All right, so at that slow tempo, half notes take forever, and especially when you have a half note, you can look ahead at finding the next note. There's a lot of repetitive notes in here where you're playing the same note over and over. So anytime that you have anything that kind of is repetitive or repeats, then you can look ahead to find the next note. All right, we're going to speed that up to 80, and let's see if you can play all the way through it. Keeping your eyes on the music, yeah, using your peripheral vision. Don't look down at your hands if you can help it. You can glance down occasionally, but you really want to keep your eyes focused on the printed page. 1, 2, set, and go. Half note, repeat, half note, E flat, look ahead, F, E flat, D, 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 E flat, B flat, E flat, rest. All right, so practicing it at a slow tempo. Really what is important is fingering through it, saying the note names until you can get it perfectly, saying all the note names, then playing it. That's what's going to help you be able to master that line. All right, let's learn a new song called Clair de Lune. Oh, Clair de Lune, you know this song, you've heard it a million times. But now what we're going to do is not memorize. We're going to learn this one line at a time using our 3 steps. All right, so first line here. So we have E flats at the beginning. E flat, E flat, E flat, F, G, F. So in the first 2 measures, let's just finger through, say the note names. Pretty simple. 1, 2, ready, go. E flat, E flat, E flat, F, G, F. So only 3 notes. So you might finger through that, saying those note names a couple of times. Ready, go. E flat, E flat, E flat, F, G, F. Pretty simple. When we get to the 3rd measure, notice my first 2 notes are line to line. So anytime I have line to line, I'm skipping the space in between. E flat, G, F, F, E flat. All right? So start in measure 3, say the note names. 1, 2, ready, go. E flat, G, F, F, E flat, 2, 3, 4. And then we have a repeat sign that goes all the way back. First line's pretty simple. It's only 3 notes, E flat, F, and G. So you can kind of just play along with that. Let's say all of the note names and finger through that first line. 1, 2, ready, go. E flat, E flat, E flat, F, G, F, E flat, G, F, F, E flat 2. Then we repeat, go. E flat, E flat, E flat, F, G, F, E flat, G, F, F, E flat 2, 3, 4. All right? That should be pretty simple. Let's play that together. All right? So you can practice just kind of playing around with those 3 notes, looking away from the keyboard. Just kind of get that sense of where those notes are. But let's try it together. 1, 2, ready, go. E flat, E flat, E flat, F, G, F, E flat, G, F, F, E flat 2, 3, repeat. E flat, E flat, E flat, F, G. Nice piston strokes. All right? I haven't really been hounding you on the piston stroke idea thing, but making sure that every time that you're playing that you're not just playing stop notes, okay? Make sure that we're playing with really nice piston strokes. Let's move on to our next line. So the next line starts off with F. Turn your mallets around or finger through. First 2 measures, 4 Fs, that's easy. And then the second measure, that note that has a ledger line through it, ledger line, you're going to remember that, is a C. All right? So F, 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 C, C. So finger through that, say the note names, ready, go. F, 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 C, C. All right, so there's a bit of a jump there between your F and your C. But C is always easy to recognize because it is that note that has that ledger line running through it. All right, measure number 3. So do you see a pattern in the scale here? We're just going straight down, starting on F. F, E flat, D, C, B flat, B flat, B flat, B flat, B flat. So we go straight down the scale. F, E flat, C, F, E flat, D, C. The last measure, we just have to be able to read the rhythms. 1, 2, and 3, 4, all on B flat. Let's read through measures 3 and 4 very slowly. 1, 2, ready, go. F, E flat, D, C, B flat, 2 and 3, 4. So that last measure is all B flats. So straight down the scale. Pretty simple. All right, let's finger through this whole line and say the note names. 1, 2, ready, go. F, 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 C, C, F, E flat, D, C, 1, 2, and 3, 4. All right, let's play it. All right, we got, might just kind of play that a couple of times so you get that scale. Here we go. 1, 2, and 1, 2, ready, go. F, 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 C, C, F, E flat, D, C, boom. All right, don't memorize. As easy as it is to memorize, we don't want to do that because you will be able to read music quicker if you keep your eyes on the music. I swear to you. All right, let's move on to our last line. So last line is very similar to our first line. We start off with our E flat, half note, E flat again, F. So 2 notes in our first measure, but we have half note, 3, 4. Second measure is what note? G, 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 F, F. So in our first 2 measures, E flat, F, G, 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 F, F. So it's a song, but I put in a different rhythm pattern just to make you pay attention. Let's play those first 2 measures. 1, and say the note names. 1, 2, ready, go. E flat, F, G, 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 F, F. So I'm just moving back and forth with those 3 notes. It's the same as the first line, but with a different rhythm pattern. Do it again. 1, 2, ready, go. E flat, F, G, 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 F, F. All right, in my third measure, what do I have? A whole rest. So it takes up a whole measure. How many counts in a measure? We're in 4 times, so 4 counts to the whole rest. And then I have, in my last measure, a rest, E flat, E flat. So I have to pay attention. I have to count through my whole rest. 1, 2, 3, 4, rest, 2, 3. All right, let's play that last line. 1, 2, and 1, 2, ready, go. E flat, F, G, 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 F, F. 1, 2, 3, 4, rest, 2, 3. All right, so you have to kind of sing the song to yourself during the rest so you can keep your place. Try it again. 1, 2, and 1, 2, ready, go. E flat, F, G, 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 F, F. 1, 2, 3, 4, rest, 2, 3. All right, now we're ready to play the entire song. So this is 3 lines long. The first line has a repeat to it. So let's see if you can go all the way through. When you get to the end of one line, look ahead to the beginning of your next line. Always reading ahead. It's a pretty simple song, and we've worked up each line separately, but now we're able to read the whole thing. Let's go at 70 beats per minute. Here we go. And 1, 2, and 1, and 2, and ready, go. E flat, E flat, E flat, F, G, F, E flat, G, F, F, E flat. Now you got to repeat. Keep your eyes on the music. E flat, E flat, E flat, F, G, F, E flat, G, F, F, E flat. Now look ahead to the next line. F, 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 C, C. Straight down the scale. F, E flat, D, C. Look ahead. E flat, F, G, 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 F, F. 1, 2, 3, 4, rest, 2, 3, 4, stop. All right, so you want to take that at a very slow tempo, okay? You do not want to memorize those lines because you can, and you can get away with it because it's a pretty easy song. I changed up the rhythms a little bit so that it would make it harder to memorize. But what I really want you to do is keep your eyes focused on the music and then use your peripheral vision to find those notes on the keys. The faster or the more that you do that, the better you're going to get at learning to read music, obviously. All right. So if you need to work on that, go to PadLab and work through the keyboard part. All right. You can find the keyboard part specifically because there is a snare drum part. Now we have a new instrument, the tambourine, and then we have the keyboard, so it's starting to form a little percussion ensemble. You want to make sure that you're working up all of those parts separately, and then you can switch when you're in class to be able to play the keyboard, the snare drum, or the tambourine. And as we add more and more instruments to it, you'll be able to have fun switching the different instruments. But learning the keyboard part is most important here, and learning to read the keyboard part is most important. So take your time, line by line, really work through each line, work in PadLab to where you can do the entire thing up to tempo. Then you can have fun in percussion class playing your ensemble.